The last series of Kitchen Nightmares. It's quite sad, really, because I got to the last program, and how ironic, you know, it was in France, and that's where it started. So I go back to that first initial, it was up in Umberside, Bonaparte's restaurant, and I went to meet these two young chefs that didn't know whether they were shit shaving or shampooing, and they served me a frozen scallop that I think the cat had pissed on the night before, and I had severe food poisoning beyond belief. And I got back to London, and I said to our exec producer, Pat Llewellyn, I said, you know what, I said, I don't know if I'll last this series, because I need to get back to my kitchen, because you've got no idea how bad this is for me to be away from such amazing food in my own restaurant, to go and eat shit that's cooked by a Muppet that thinks he's the next Gordon Ramsay. And secondly, he served me food where the cat has literally pissed on it, because I've never met or eaten a scallop so stinking in all my life. However, I ate it. So from Bonaparte to Le Deck, the journey's been tempestuous. I think I must have, what, 11, 12 stomach ulcers. I live with Rene. If it's not Rene, it's Digex. If it's not Digex, it's some form of indigestion tablet. I'm quite sad, to be honest, but I'm excited, because I think these last 4 programs on a personal front for me is 4 of the best programs we've ever made, because the team were great. Danny, Richard, original cameraman from day one, and they know me and I know them, and I still had that hunger to get those businesses back on the map. And I'm like a little Rottweiler. I just want to be led up to the front door, let off the lead, and then booted in, you know, like sniff out the crap, turn the place upside down, give the owners a great shake up, and then put them back on their feet. Everyone's asking for it to come back, and I want to rest. I want my stomach to go through a sort of 12-month period with no ulcers. I don't want to walk around with Rene's in my pocket and Digex in my satchel. And then I want to go to the toilet once a day properly, as opposed to 4 or 5 times a day once I've had a bad experience in a shithole serving frozen food that's been defrosted in the microwave for the last 17 minutes. So no, I want to get back to eating normally. I want to return to France and enjoy the restaurants rather than trying to put them back on the map. Do you know what? Let's not say it's going away and it's finishing forever. It may come back. It depends on my ulcers. When you start cutting corners in a kitchen and you start questioning the integrity of the customer, where you think they'll never spot that level of mistake or perfection, then it's time to stop. Anyone can flip burgers or dress Caesar salads. I had a massive upset in football when I was 19, and I got kicked out of my arse. And so that second bite of the cherry for me was a godsend. And even today now, we're the longest serving British restaurant with 3 Michelin stars in this country. I never ever take that for granted. And yeah, you literally are as good as your last meal. But there's one thing I've learned and experienced, is that, you know, if you don't open up and you don't delegate, then you'll kill yourself. And if there's one thing that I've managed to understand, is the art of delegation, because if I can pass on, you know, to Claire Smith, to Arian, my palate, my understanding, my knowledge, then grab it, run it, and then pass it on to your team. Don't hold that inside. If there's one thing I've learned over the last 10 years, stay in front of the competition, because there's 2 ways in this industry. You move with it, or it moves you. And I've seen so many sad stories across the decade where chefs have just got lazy, given up, and lost that hunger to be competitive, because it's the best job in the world. That's not really a job, it's a passion. Because when you're rubbing shoulders, and here we are now, 10 years later, and I've got a restaurant next door to Jamie Oliver's, and we're both literally 2 meters apart. Phenomenal chef, and we keep each other on our toes. So that's exciting for me, and that's been the one key issue across the 10 years of filming Kitchen Nightmares. Never, ever, ever give up. Right now, I need to take a rest. I want to take a rest. I want to think again. I want to come back with something strong. And I had a chat recently with Jeremy Clarkson, and I asked him about when he stopped doing Top Gear, and he had that break for 3 years. And he said, you know, I missed it so much. When I came back twice as strong. So, you know, I think it's good to stop. I want to get out on top, but more importantly, I want to come back twice as strong.